Hello, good day, viewers. This particular problem was sent to me yesterday. X squared minus 1 equal to the square root of x plus 1. After solving the problem, I realized 4 solutions, 2 real solutions and 2 extraneous solutions. Let's get started. Whenever you are given problems like this, always consider the domain first because this is not a linear equation. So the left hand side is x squared minus 1, but the right hand side is a square root of something. And square root of anything must be greater or equal to 0 in real world, which implies that this x squared minus 1 must be greater or equal to 0. I would like to graph the left hand side. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. It is going to cross x-axis at -1 and +1. So we have something like this. But it is greater or equal to 0, which means we are looking for values of y that are positive, which are above x-axis. So we have from -infinity way down to -1. All these values will satisfy. And from 1 way down to positive infinity. So I would like to show it on a number line. This is -1, this is +1. So it means from -1 down to positive infinity and from 1 down to positive infinity. All right, this is the first step. Then the second step, we know that the radicand here, which is x plus 1, will have to be greater or equal to 0 as well. So let me do it up here. X plus 1 must be greater or equal to 0, which implies that x must be greater or equal to -1. All right? So on that same number line, I would like to construct this one, x greater or equal to -1. So it should be from here to positive infinity. So where do we have intersection? You can see we have our first intersection here. All right, sorry, this should be closed cycles, right? Closed cycles. So we have our first intersection here, and the other intersection is from 1 down to positive infinity. So it means that the domain for that equation is what? -1 union +1 down to positive infinity. This is our domain, which means that x can either be equal to -1 or x greater or equal to 1. So any solution out of this will not be accepted. All right, let's get started. So here is our equation. The left-hand side is nothing but difference of two squares, which can be factorized as x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. And the right-hand side is square root of x plus 1. Next, I would like to square both sides. We have x minus 1 squared multiplied by x plus 1 also squared, and this is equal to just x plus 1. Now I would like to take this one to the other side. We have x minus 1 squared multiplied by x plus 1 squared. As this crosses over, it becomes negative x plus 1, and this is equal to 0, right? Now you can see that we have x plus 1, so we can factor out x plus 1. So x plus 1 outside multiplied by, this is x minus 1, which I think I can expand it, right? The expansion of this one will be x squared, then minus 2x plus 1. This is the expansion. Then here already 1 is outside, so we still have x plus 1 to the power of 1. This is already outside completely, so we have minus 1, something like this. This is equal to 0. Now we have two factors, but I don't want to set this one to be equal to 0 first. Let me expand this. We have x plus 1 multiplied by x squared times x will give us x cubed. X squared times 1 will give us x squared. Then negative 2x times x will give us negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times 1 is negative 2x. Then lastly, 1 times x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. Then we have this minus 1. This is equal to 0. X plus 1 multiplied by x cubed. Then thus with power of 2, this minus this is negative 1x squared, negative x squared. This will give us negative x, negative x. Where's my 1 here? This particular one. So they will cancel automatically. 1 minus 1 is 0, right? So we have everything to be equal to 0. We have x plus 1 multiplied by, I think we have x here in common. So if you bring x outside, you have x. Then inside you have x squared minus x minus 1. This is equal to 0. Now we have 3 factors. We are going to set each to be equal to 0. The first one, x plus 1 equal to 0, implies that x equal to negative 1. And we have seen that negative 1 can satisfy the problem. Then the next one, which is x equal to 0, and this is not true. Therefore, we are going to discard this solution. Remember our domain, right? It has to be either negative 1 or any value greater than 1. So we are not going to accept 0. So it is part of the extraneous solutions. Next, we take this quadratic and set it to be equal to 0 as well. So x squared minus x minus 1 equal to 0. Let me solve it by completing the square method. If I should take negative 1 to the other side, it becomes positive. And the left-hand side, I can factorize it as x minus half the coefficient of x, which is 1 over 2, whole squared, equal to, already 1 is there. Then what am I going to add? I'm going to add square of this. If you square 1 over 2, you get 1 over 4. You can use general formula to solve it as well. So this is x minus 1 over 2 squared equal to 5 over 4. Next, we take square root of both sides. We have x minus 1 over 2 equal to plus or minus the square root of 5 over 4. This is x equal to, as this crosses over, it becomes positive 1 over 2. We have plus or minus. The square root of 5 remains square root of 5. Square root of 4 is 2. So you can see that x is equal to 1 plus or minus square root of 5 divided by 2. So there are 2 values here. Let me split them. We have either x equal to 1 plus root 5 divided by 2, or x equal to 1 minus root 5 divided by 2. This value here is approximately negative 0.6. And you see it is out of the range. Therefore, we are going to discard this one as well and consider this one. So you can see that we have 4 solutions. We have discarded this one. We have discarded 0. We're only going to consider negative 1 and 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. Therefore, x equal to negative 1 or x equal to 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. These are our only valid solutions. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.